Hi, my name is Bob DeWitt, and I'm president of Southwest Senior Benefits. My clients often ask me, Bob, exactly what is the donut hole? How do I get into this donut hole? And more importantly, how do I climb back out? I'd like to take a few minutes and explain it to you. The donut hole is the coverage gap that occurs in your Part D drug coverage. Now, every Part D drug plan out there has got to conform to a certain structure that was set up by CMS. There's 4 pieces to it. First, there's the annual deductible. So every plan out there can charge you anywhere between $0 and $310 for that deductible. Next are the copays. Every plan must take the drugs that they're going to offer and categorize them into 4 different categories or tiers. Tier 1 are the generic drugs, and they'll cost you between $0 to $8. Tier 2 are the preferred brand drugs. Those will cost you between $25 and $48. Tier 3 are the non-preferred brand drugs. Those will be $50 to $80. And Tier 4 are the specialty drugs, many times the cancer drugs. And because they're expensive, you'll be charged on a percentage basis. Well, when the total cost of the drugs that you're taking exceed $2,830 in 2010, you enter into something which is called the coverage gap, or more aptly known as the donut hole. While your generic drugs will still be relatively inexpensive, you'll have to pay the list price for all of your other medications until you get out of this coverage gap. Now, it was the total cost of the drugs that got you in. To get out, it's based on a different number. It's actually based on the amount of money you spend out of your own pocket to get out. And when that amount exceeds $4,550, you move over into catastrophic coverage, where again, your drugs will be heavily discounted. To put this in perspective, let me give you an example. Let's say last December you went to your doctor, he found an ailment, and he prescribed for you 3 different drugs. Unfortunately, they weren't generic drugs, they were Tier 3 drugs. For this example, we're going to assume that each drug had a list price of $200, and your Part D drug plan will offer them for $50. So in essence, you'll be buying 3 $50 drugs, or spending $150 a month for these drugs, while the total list price for these drugs is $600. So in January, you go to the pharmacist, you show him your Part D prescription drug card, you also show him the prescription that was written by your doctor, and he'll give you the 3 drugs for $150. Same thing in February, same thing in March, same thing in April and May. Whoops, Houston, we've got a problem. Here's why. While the total cost of your drugs that you've spent out of your own pocket is only $750, the total cost of the drugs themselves are $3,000. And remember what I said before. When the total cost of the drugs exceeds $2,830 in FY 2010, you go into the dreaded donut hole. To get out of the donut hole, the number is no longer based on the total cost of the drugs. It's based on the money that you spend out of your own pocket. So year to date, you've spent $750 out of your own pocket. You won't get out of the donut hole until you spend over $4,550. So let's continue this example. To date, out of your own pocket, you've spent $750. The total cost of those drugs are $3,000. You're in the coverage gap because the total cost of drugs are over $2,830. And to get out of the coverage gap, you need to spend out of your own pocket $4,550. Well, you're going to have to pay the list price of these drugs until you get out of the coverage gap. As we talked about before, each drug had a list price of $200, so the total monthly amount that you'll pay going forward is $600. You'll pay that for June, July, August, September, you can see where this starts getting pretty expensive. October, November, December. There we go. If we total up the total expenditure out of your own pocket, it is now $4,950. Finally, out of your own pocket, you have exceeded the coverage gap of $4,550, and you would now be able to move over to catastrophic coverage. The problem is it's December, and starting January 1st, the slate is wiped clean, and we have zeros back up on the scoreboard. That's the issue with the donut hole. The idea behind the donut hole was to have seniors that were using the drug plan more and spending more on drugs to help pay for some of those costs. What the studies have shown, though, is an unintended consequence. Many seniors now, when they go into the donut hole, simply stop buying their drugs altogether because they can't afford it. Well, the good news is there is some help on the way. With the recent passing of the Healthcare Reform Act, Congress has set up for every senior that goes into the donut hole to be able to apply for a rebate this year. It's not huge, but at least it's some help for you. More importantly, over the next 5 years, the goal is to completely shut down this donut hole and make this issue moot. Now, until that happens, here's a couple of best practices you need to think about. 1. The Part D drug programs are all set up to drive you to take generic drugs. If you're taking a Tier 2, Tier 3, or Tier 4 drug, and you'll know it based on the prices that you're paying, continually check with your doctor and see if there's a generic drug available. By being able to switch from a Tier 2 to a generic drug can save you hundreds of dollars a year, every year. Number 2, make sure you shop your Medicare Part D program every single year. Typically, there are anywhere from 35 to 45 companies that offer Part D drug programs in your area. Understand this. These Part D drug programs do not cover every drug. They only cover a subset of the drugs. So by checking with these plans, your goal is to find which plan has got the drugs specifically for me at the lowest price. And again, I've seen savings here in the hundreds of dollars a year by simply switching from one plan to the next. Now, if you got questions how to do it, just go ahead and contact me and I'll walk you through and explain the process to you. Hopefully this gives you some good food for thought. My name is Bob DeWitt. You can reach me at www.southwestseniorbenefits.com. Thanks for listening to this video. Hopefully it helped. Bye for now.